Hi everyone, it's me, Beaticali Sunflower. So I'm on today to do a second hashtag to a lovely Feeding My Soul, and it's called Show Us Your Decks Again. It's got 15 questions, and I'm going to flip my camera around and show you my decks. See you in a minute. Prompt number 1, a deck with a quote on the inside of the box. So the tarot deck that I chose for this prompt is called the Sufri Tarot by Aida Hussein. I hope I've said that properly. So inside the box there's a lovely quote which says, "Dare you have the courage to be who you really are." Unfortunately, I can't pronounce the name of the person who wrote the quote, so I don't want to butcher it and get told off. Okay, so this is a Rider-Waite inspired deck. I think it's, if I can remember, I think it's got like a Turkish type of feel to it. Okay, it's let's show you some of the cards. So the Fool, the Magician, the High Priestess, the Empress, the Emperor. You know, there's quite a few name changes. The Hierophant, the Lovers, the Chariot, and Strength. So this is my first deck, which is a deck that has a quote in the box. Okay, so prompt 2 is a deck with a damaged box or card. So unfortunately for me, one of my biggest icks is to have a broken box. I can't stand broken tarot boxes. I normally rehouse them anyway in a bag like this or a pouch. So this deck, which is the Black Power Tarot, it came in a really battered box. It was just broken. I did actually reach out to the supplier and they sent me another deck free of charge in a box, which I keep as a spare. So this deck is a Marseille deck. It's a major only deck, and it's based on Black American celebrities. There was like a pull-out sheet that sort of like explains cards. So this one here is the Fool, and this is based on Richard Pryor. So that's the deck. The Magician is Black Herman. The High Priestess is Marie Lavive. Oh, I hope I haven't butchered that name. So the Lovers card has got Etta James, James Brown, and Irma Thomas. The Hierophant is Reverend Johnny L. Jones. So like I said, a lot of these celebrities, you know, I don't really know. The Empress is Nina Simone. And the Chariot is Little Richard. I mean, there was something on the internet that I could have printed out which explains why they chose each celebrity. So anyhow, this is the Black Power Tarot. So prompt 3 is a deck with one or several renamed cards. So the deck that I've chose for this prompt is called the Wee Moon Tarot. It's a mass market deck. So let's just show you the cards that have been renamed. So the Magician is called the Magician Witch. The High Priestess is called the Priestess, so it's kind of been shortened. The Empress is called the Great Mother. The Emperor is called the Empower. The Emperor is called Sacred Paths. The Chariot is called the Charioteer. Justice is called Restorative Justice. So Justice is number 8 in this deck as well. The Hermit is called the Crone. The Devil is called the Wild card. I like that name for the Devil. The Star card is called Scars. So it has got quite a few renamed cards in the Major Arcana. I'm not sure if this question also relates to the Minor Arcanas, but I'm assuming it's for the major cards. So question 4 is a deck with reversible backs, and I've chosen the Lorna Soul deck for this. This is the mass market version. I also have the first edition of this deck as well. So these backs are very interesting because they're kind of like color-coded reversible backs. So for example, if the top is like a mustard color, that means that the cards are upright. And if the blue is up, that means that the cards are reversed. I kind of see it as day and night sort of thing. But I think it's just a good way of knowing whether your cards are reversed or not because of the colour code. I mean, I like to put my cards in order before I shuffle my deck or before I do readings. And having colour-coded backs makes it a lot easier for me to put the cards upright. The cards have all been put in the mustard colour, so I know that they're upright. So if I shuffle my cards and I pull out a reversed card, to me, that's just the natural way it was meant to come out. So the Lorna Soul is a deck that I chose for my favourite reverse backs. Prompt 5 is a deck with a star on the box. Getting a bit tongue twisted there. So the deck that I've chose for this prompt is the Tarot de Virgo. As you can see, there's loads of stars on this box. I haven't used this deck for quite a while. This is one of my older decks. Oh dear. The backs of the cards have also got like stars on as well. And it's a Rider-Waite inspired deck. But I think when I first got this deck, I found it a bit busy. That's why I think I've never really used it that much. Because I think there's just a bit too much stars in the cards. And too many eyes going on as well. But I must start using this deck again because it's kind of an old deck but hardly used. It's the Lovers. The Chariot. There's two different types of cats. But loads of eyes everywhere and loads of stars. It's just a bit too busy for me. But again, in relation to the prompt, it does have a lot of stars in there. So this is a Tarot de Virgo. 6 is a deck with no or few people in the minors. And the deck that I've chosen for this is called the Animal Wisdom Tarot. This is actually my first animal deck that I ever had. Show you some of the cards. So if you look at the minors, let's take the major cards out. So the minors are split into 4 suits. They've been renamed. The wands are called branches. The cups have been renamed shells. the swords have been renamed feathers, and the pentacles fossils. And each of the cards doesn't feature a person at all. It's all animals, which I like. So if you're a person that likes animals and doesn't like to see people in your decks, I'd recommend this one. So there's animals in both the major and the minor suits, but the question was in relation to the minors. So as you can see, there's no people, just animals. So this is the Animal Wisdom Tarot deck. Prompt 7 is a deck that doesn't have a person in the full card. And the deck that I chose for this prompt is the Tough Love Tarot. This deck was created by YouTuber Lady Knight of Avalon. It's come from a plain tap box. So this is a very interesting deck. It's got the number of each archetype or suit and the name, but just quotes or writing. So for the full card, you've got the dog and you've got like the back sack, and it's got a quote. Oh yes, another totally not impulsive decision. Let me guess, zero planning, maximum chaos. So for each of the cards, it just gives you writing, but each of the symbols does represent the archetype, in my opinion. Like the Hierophant's got like the Pope hat and the keys. It's got beautiful backs. Look at the backs of the cards. You know, it's just showing each of the suits. It's quite a gentle kind of deck, and this deck is beginner friendly, and if you're a seasoned reader and you like quotes, it's also good for that. But this is more of a symbol stroke affirmation deck, but it is a full tarot deck. So this is the Tough Love Tarot by Lady Knight of Avalon. Question 8 or prompt 8 is a deck with your favorite box design. So I've got 3 decks in my collection that have got the same box design. The first one is the Pastoral Tarot, and the second one is the Witch's Wisdom. All of those decks that I've just mentioned, plus this one, are my favourite design, which is when you have a box, and then inside the box you have a bag, which gives the cards extra protection. So this deck is called the Marseille Weight Tarot deck, and it's a hybrid deck. The major arcanas are based on the Marseille, and the minor arcana is based on the Rider-Waite-Smith. I mean, this bag's a bit short, but it still keeps the cards protected. I think this deck is mass market because I got it on Amazon and it was under £20 when I bought it, so I'm assuming it's a mass market publisher. So, you know, as you can see, the major arcana is based on the Marseille. Let's say Marseille inspired. Nice clean pictures. And then if I look into some of the minor cards, you've got, that's the King of Wands, you've got the Ace of Cups, Two of Cups, Three of Cups. They're Rider-Waite inspired, you know, based on it, but obviously the pictures kind of suit the Marseille style. It also comes with a guidebook, and because it's got the British flag on it, this one is written in English, but I'm just assuming that it's written in 2 languages. So I don't know what flag that is. Let me just... It could be Italian maybe, I'm not sure. But the guidebook is, you know, multilingual, but I just go for the British upright, so it's written in English. I think that could be Italian, but I'm not sure. So this is my favourite deck, which is the Marseille Waite Tarot, that has my favourite design, which is a bag within a box. So prompt 9 is a deck you've made a 180-degree turnaround about. So example, anticipated purchase, fell flat or lukewarm feelings about the deck, and then absolutely loved it once you received it and worked with it. And the deck that I've chosen for this prompt is called the Rebel Heart Tarot. So this deck was gifted to me by the author for review, Alice Grist. And when I first got the deck, I wasn't really gelling with it. I liked the idea that it was very, very pink. I liked the idea that it was kind of like environmentally friendly, because it had like a lot of paper and no plastic. But it was just the artwork that was a bit too, not busy, but it was just, well, yeah, it was busy for me, you know. And I struggled to read of it. But after persevering with this deck, I've actually grown to really like it. And now I can read it with my eyes shut. I don't struggle with it no more. But I think it's because the archetypes are kind of like hybrid, you know, like animal faces, human bodies type of thing. And it's kind of collage and stuff. I think that the creator said that she used people who she knew in the archetypes, if I can remember. It's a beautiful deck. Look at that one. Death, Temperance. I think one of the cards, I think it's the King of Swords. Let me just find it. Is a tarot tuber, friend of mine. I won't mention his name just in case he doesn't want to be mentioned. But the King of Swords was based off him, because I think he's a Scorpio, if I can remember. Let's find that card. Yeah, this is the tarot tuber, King of Swords. Somebody that we all know. Okay, so this is the Rebel Heart Tarot, and it's a deck that when I first got it, I didn't gel with it, but after persevering, I became very attached to it. Prompt 10, a deck with an even major in the box artwork. Okay, so the deck that I've chosen for this is called the Yarn Tarot. I actually needed a bag to go with it. A bit crap now. And the card in the box looks like the High Priestess. And the High Priestess is card number 2. And an even number is a number that can be divided. You know, so 2, you know, divide that by in half, you get 1. So it's an even number. So let's show you some of these cards. Oh, it's not in order. So the minors are kind of pippish, but they're all kind of knitting related. So these are spindles for the cups. You know, the swords look like knitting needles. The ones look like crochet hooks. to me, it's just the minors that are related to like knitting or yarn. The major arcanas to me are just Rider-Waite-Smith inspired. But this one here, which is the same on the box, the High Priestess, which is card 2. See that? And she's got the 2 pillows, and I guess the crystal ball is replaced with a ball of wool or yarn, and there's the moon there as well. It's a beautiful deck. The pentacles are like knitted squares. I tend to use this deck in the winter months or autumn winter months because it's a cozy deck to me, because it's, you know, knitting is quite a cozy hobby to me. I prefer to knit in those months as well. Okay, so this is the yarn tarot. So prompt 11 is a deck on your tarot shelf stroke storage area with the box title facing in the opposite direction from the others. And the deck that I've chosen for this prompt is called the Visions Tarot by Angela Tubb. It's an interesting deck. I actually like the border on this deck. It's got like a Polaroid feel about it. Remember the old-fashioned Polaroid cameras? How the photographs used to come out with that nice border. I love the backs of the cards as well. They've got like the moon and the eye there for intuition. Look at that Empress. It's gorgeous. It's a UK published deck. I think I got this on Kickstarter and it was very inexpensive to deliver and to buy. It's quite cheap for an indie deck, in my opinion. It's the Lovers. You can see the sun and moon. Chariot, you can see the black and white horses. Beautiful deck. Strength. That's like a panther there. The Hermit. The Wheel of Life or the Wheel of Fortune. Look at that Justice, nice full figure. She's got the scales and the sword. She's got the blindfold for being impartial. But she also looks like she's a tree, like she's got roots there. Which is interesting. The Hanged One. Death. Temperance. The Devil. That's like the forbidden fruit, isn't it? The Tower. The Star. The Moon. Look at the Sun. It's such a cute card for a sun. So you've got like a baby or a toddler. It's beautiful, and she's got like red hair to reflect the sun. Transformation is Judgment, and then the World. Such a nice deck. The Vision Tarot. So prompt 12 is a lonely deck. A deck you don't store with other decks. And that deck is called the Dream Awake Tarot because it comes in this A4 kind of plastic envelope with a kind of workbook. So because of the size, I tend to keep this deck with my reference books. So I'm going to show you the cards that come with this. So I keep the cards in this kind of bag that I saw hanging about. The box came quite battered actually, but I'll keep it in the bag. These are hexagon shapes, unusual and quite difficult to shuffle. There's no kind of like archetype name, so it's supposed to be like an intuitive kind of deck, but I've tried to relate it to tarot and Lenormand cards, so that when I'm reading with them I can kind of assign my own meanings. So this card here, it's got like very fall-like energy, because you know the person's on a cliff. This is kind of like a wolf, which is kind of like part of a dog family. So I would see this card as the Fool if I was doing it in a reading. Look at the backs of the cards, very, very gorgeous. This deck here, I haven't assigned anything yet, but to me it's coming across as tower energy. You know, maybe because that kind of looks like a tower, and then you've got like the flame, and you've got things falling out from the tower. So this would kind of give me tower energy. This card here will give me Priestess energy, because you've got the two pillars there. You've got the moon or globe in her hands. She looks very kind of spiritual, and there's the moon there as well. So this would be like a High Priestess energy for me. This would be definitely Empress, because she's in a garden, she's pregnant. See, this to me, I would see this as like the Emperor, even though it's a female character. She's got quite a strong defined face, looks like a leader, and there's cowrie shells there as well at the sides, which is to do with wealth. And I haven't assigned anything yet. I might give this a Lenormand kind of, you know, maybe a stalk, which means location and stuff like that, moving location. But I'm still kind of like working through this deck, you know, hence the workbook. So once I've assigned all my cards, then I can probably read with it. This has got like 3 of Cups energy. This is giving me strength. Hermit. Lovers. Because, you know, because of the twins, like Gemini. Justice. This to me is given like Devil kind of energy. Again, this is another Lovers card. And I just showed the last card. This to me is kind of like the Hierophant, because the person's meditating and, you know, reflecting within. So this could be the Devil card as well. So it's an interesting deck, and it's a deck that requires a lot of thought, and because I'm kind of working on it, I keep it separate from my other decks, kind of, said before, assign meanings so that I can use it for readings. Question 13 or prompt 13 is a deck that you associate with the current season. So we're now in summer in the UK. It was summer on the 20th. I think today's date is the 24th, so we're 4 days into summer. This is one of my summer decks, which I'm actually currently working with. It's called the Ghetto Tarot. I think there's been a name change though, because the creator got quite a lot of stick from the Black American community. They said that she was culturally appropriating the cards, which she wasn't, you know. They also had an issue with the title of the deck, which was the Ghetto Tarot. But the creator said that how it was the actual people who were in the archetypes that said that she should call it the Ghetto Tarot, because it was based in the Haitian ghetto. She also used to have like tours where you could meet the actors that are in the cards, and also the locations that are displayed in the archetypes, and all the money went back into the community, but she got a lot of stick for it. And the name's since been changed, but I can't remember what the new name of the deck is. But this deck is Rider-Waite inspired. It's a marinated deck. It's a photography deck. It's based in Haiti, which is a hot country, so that's why I associate it with summer. And it's just kind of like Rider-Waite inspired, but in the Haitian ghetto. So it's a gorgeous deck. I didn't work with it for quite a while because of the drama, but now the drama's died down. I'm actually enjoying this deck. This is the Nine of Cups, Six of Pentacles, Death, the Hierophant, and you can see that a lot of work's got in to kind of like, you know, display the Rider-Waite Smith kind of appearance. It's the Three of Cups, Judgment, Two of Cups. It's just a gorgeous deck. The Moon, the Chariot, the Knight of Cups, the King of Cups. This is the Three of Pentacles. Okay, so this is the Ghetto Tarot, and it's a deck that I think reflects the current season, which is summer. Prompt or question 14 is a deck in which your favourite animal makes an appearance. Now, my favourite animal is a cat, as you can see by the picture on the case. This is the Tarot of the White Cats. This is a pretty old deck now. I've had it for quite a while, but this is the first ever cat deck I bought. I've got a lot more since then. It's a Lascarabelle deck. It's got like 4 languages on it because, you know, Lascarabelle used to have kind of like multi-languages on their deck. I don't know what the new versions are like, if there is a new version to it. It'd be interesting to know if they've still got the 4 languages. But I like this deck. It's Rider-Waite inspired, but instead of people, you've just got cats and white cats, which I think are lucky. I saw black cats too. I used to adore this deck when I first got it, and I used to always carry it around with me. Hence the reason why the box is so kind of tattered. But I'm not saying that I've replaced it, but I've got so many cat decks now. I just have them in rotation. Because this is my first cat deck, it's kind of special to me. Okay, so this is the Tarot of the White Cats. The final prompt, which is prompt 15, is a deck with a rainbow either on the box or in the cards. And the deck that I chose for this is called the Tripping Weight, because as you can see, there's a nice big rainbow on the box. I do love a tarot collectible deck. I think everyone should have at least one in their collection, but that's just my opinion. And the backs have kind of got like a psychedelic kind of rainbowy kind of effect. And I guess that there's quite a lot of rainbows in the cards. I don't know if you call this a rainbow. So it's Rider-Waite inspired with a psychedelic kind of touch. This is also a summer deck for me because the colours are quite summery and quite bright. So I will be using this deck as well in this season. So if you're a person that doesn't like the traditional Rider-Waite Smith decks, you may like this if you're into colour. Okay, so this is the Tripping Weight Tarot deck. Okay, so thank you, Feeding My Soul, for devising this second hashtag. I've really enjoyed selecting decks for each of the prompts. I will try and leave links in the description bar for any of the decks that are still available. They will be UK links though, because I'm based in the UK. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.